that several features stand out in our programs that make us unique. When people first look at us, obviously, they pay attention to things like high rankings and faculty reputations. Our faculty are at the cutting edge of research on learning, on teacher development, and are really big names in those fields. But there are a set of key ideas that animate the programs that I think set us apart. And so let me talk about them. There are three. One has to do with subject matter and a teacher's deep understanding of subject matter. A second has to do with the centrality of student thinking, the power of students' ideas. And the third one has to do with an idea of learning to teach within a community of practice of teaching and learning. And so let me step through each of those and try to explain what I mean by them. The first is our faculty share a commitment that critical to effective teaching is a really deep understanding of subject matter. And so no matter what grade level, the ability to understand one's content deeply and to be able to make it accessible to a learner, to take it apart, to see it from a learner's eye view, is absolutely central. The second big idea is really related, the idea that students' ideas are the most fundamental resource that we have. And so the task in teaching is to be able to bridge the understandings and ideas of learners with more advanced or sophisticated ideas in that subject matter. And so that could be shifting in elementary math from needing to be able to work with manipulatives and to be able to count pieces out in front of you in order to do an addition problem, to be able to hold a quantity in my head. So I know that I've got 10 blocks over here, and now I need to add 3 more, 11, 12, 13. I think the third thing that's really significant in our program is that our faculty are convinced that teachers learn to teach by participating as teachers in a community of practice of teaching and learning. And so what that means is that we're partnering with schools in which our candidates are becoming members of teaching teams through which they have opportunities to build relationships with students. They are there daily and consistently and reliably. They are gradually assuming responsibilities for assessment, for tutoring, for working with small and larger groups. Again, their daily presence makes them not only reliable, but it also allows teams to organize flexibly to be able to respond to learners' needs, to be able to differentiate instruction, to work with individuals in small groups, and plan to serve students, again, from day to day, week to week, in ways that will promote their understanding. So it really becomes a win-win for the schools and for our teacher candidates. Our program is structured slightly differently at the elementary versus the secondary levels. Our elementary program can either be an 18-month program or a 2-year program. There are students who stay for 2 years in the elementary program often are pursuing English language learner, an English language learner endorsement, so that they stretch out the time and they're able to do more, to kind of be more certified, more qualified in a particular field. Our secondary folks come in for either a year or for 2 years. And the folks who are coming in for a year, it's a really compact, intense program. For the 2 years, there's a little bit more elective room in their coursework, and they also have more opportunities to pursue research. What's common is that there is a balance of coursework and fieldwork. So coursework at the beginning tends to focus more on foundations, again, taking apart the subject matter, understanding learner development, and over the course of the program, the ratio of coursework to fieldwork shifts. So while there is fieldwork from the very beginning, there is less, and as the program goes on, the amount of fieldwork intensifies until finally candidates are out full-time in their internships or student teaching. Our students across the board bring a strong academic background. Sometimes it's not a traditional, they may have had interesting interdisciplinary majors, they have gone off and done interesting work while they've been undergraduates, but they have typically succeeded well in undergraduate education. They also bring experience working with young children or teens, whether that be in a school setting or an more informal setting like a Boys and Girls Club after school or a camp. But essentially, we seek out applicants who've shown that they care about students, that they want to work with students, that they can work with students. And students who do well in our program genuinely find children and youth interesting. They see something there that they want to capitalize on. I mean, that they want to spend time with these folks because their ideas are interesting and they enjoy communicating with them and working with them. So why would I enter teaching knowing everything that I know about teaching and the field and the fact that schools at some level are under siege and the teaching profession seems to be under siege at times by state policy. And so one can look at that and become very depressed, or one can look at the field and realize that there is so much change afoot. I think that there are a number of us who believe that schools 10 years from now will look nothing like schools look now, or that at least parts of schools and opportunities for teaching and learning. The experimentation that we are doing around teaching teams as being the unit rather than a single teacher in a single classroom. We think that schools are moving in this direction around high personalization. We think it's going to take skill and commitment. We want folks who are interested and inspired by that challenge to work creatively to change the field of education as it changes, as our understandings of learning and teaching shift, as opportunities for learning and teaching shift, as schools reconfigure themselves. And so you have to have a deep commitment and a deep interest in learners. In equity, we see that good teaching is a key in providing equity for not only for students, but for people in their lives, and for creating a just and equitable society. So if you're intrigued by that, if you feel that you can play a role in that, we urge people to participate in teaching. You will learn all the time. It is, again, because the landscape is changing, the kinds of challenges you face will be changing, but the work is critical. It's absolutely what our society needs to be focused on.